This week saw the release of the third issue of Two-Face's current miniseries, in which the binary Mr. Dent tries to bring some order to the underworld by establishing the White Church. This is a sort of supervillain's court, with the Reaper as a judge and Two-Face as either the prosecutor or the defender, depending on the case. However, not everyone is happy about this development, and a mysterious shadow hand has assembled a group of villains to try to undermine the White Church. And this issue reveals the identity of the Shadow Hand, which is a massive spoiler, so I'll get to that later on. The premise of this issue is that Scarface has been kidnapped, which has infuriated the ventriloquist, who is on the cusp of launching an all-out gang war to get his beloved puppet back. And who has taken him? Baby Doll. So the headline here is that this is the first issue to actually feature the Batman the Animated Series original character Baby Doll in a significant segment. She has made some glorified background cameo appearances over the last 30 years, most notably in Harley Quinn's 30th anniversary special. If you're not familiar with Baby Doll, she's a former TV star, Mary Dahl, who was born with a rare condition called systemic hyperplasia, which effectively prevented her from growing up. She was stuck looking like a child, despite the fact she was in her 30s. She grew tired of being typecast and tried to get more serious dramatic roles, but that didn't work out for her, and her sitcom was cancelled. After years of neglect and anxiety, Dahl kidnapped her co-stars from her sitcom to try to recreate the magic and make herself feel valued again. But it didn't work. She wasn't the most significant Batman villain, and on paper she sounds pretty silly. But that episode is one of the best in the entire series and is genuinely touching, especially the ending where Dahl confronts twisted reflections of herself in the House of Mirrors. But this is supposed to be about Two-Face, not Baby Doll. If you want to hear more about her, go back and check out the video I made a while back, which is weirdly the most popular video I've ever done with over 600,000 views at the time of recording. The comic book version of Baby Doll is a very faithful adaptation of the cartoon original, right down to her initial scheme of kidnapping her TV sitcom family and the inclusion of her bodyguard/nanny Mariam, which I know will please a lot of people. And I like how artist Fabio Veras draws Baby Doll like an actual human-looking child, not a cartoonish caricature. That look worked perfectly well in BTAS because it was a cartoon, but this is a more grounded comic book, so making her appear to be an actual child rather than some sort of gnome is welcomed. While in the cartoon, Mariam was a capable fighter that gave Batman and Robin some trouble, Dent is more direct and just shoots her in the gut to get past her and secure Scarface. Turns out that Baby Doll wanted to start a family with Scarface, which is pretty deranged, but note that it wasn't her idea to return to villainy. She had been approached by Doubt, one of the Shadow Hand's men, who planted the idea in her mind with his powers, compelling her to do it. I mentioned this in my video about Two-Face number 2, but Doubt is a recent creation of writer Christian Wards, who has the ability to control people by framing his commands as doubts. For instance, he tells Two-Face that he doubts he will continue pointing his gun at him, thus preventing Two-Face from using his gun. He also tries to use his powers to free Two-Face from Dent's mind prison. And that's really what this story is about. It's about systems and balance, the White Church versus the Shadow Hand, good versus bad, Harvey Dent versus Two-Face, and so on. Now, Harvey Dent is able to overcome Doubt's powers because of his faith in the system. Batman had a similar experience where he defeated Doubt by listening to the voice of confidence in his mind, Alfred's voice telling him that he could do anything, and faith is the antithesis of doubt. This is pretty ironic because the system he created is exactly why he's in the predicament he is in. Dent's internal system is designed to keep both him and Two-Face in equilibrium. If one tries to exert control over the other or becomes dominant, then his mind unleashes its defences. We see what Two-Face refers to as white blood cells in his mind prison, which looks more like the Angel of Death. While Dent has his internal white blood cells to police his mind prison, it seems like the Shadow Hand is Two-Face's external defence mechanism, trying to undo everything Harvey Dent has achieved in order to regain some control. Lake Cantwell's inability to hear proves to be an advantage in this issue. She resists Doubt by turning her hearing aid off, effectively shutting him out. Of course, Doubt doesn't realise that she can't hear him, so he lets his guard down. And she continues to be an interesting character with more details about her impoverished upbringing coming to light, while she and Dent try to find out where Baby Doll is. But I can't shake the feeling that there's more to her than meets the eye. I still think her name is an anagram for something, but the only thing I've been able to form from her name is Nell Catwalk, which doesn't ring any bells off the top of my head. Do let me know if it makes sense to you though. One final observation I wanted to note is that at the start of the issue we see Two-Face walking through the desert mindscape just outside of his mind prison, where he sees Harvey Dent, suggesting to me that there are 3 people in Dent's mind: Good Harvey, Bad Harvey, and Two-Face. The solicitations for the next issue suggest that most of the upcoming story is going to take place inside of Dent's mind, with good Harvey and bad Harvey vying for control of their body, perhaps in their own form of court. So expect some good back and forth between the two sides of Mr. Dent and some introspective analysis of their trauma. While I found the reveal of the Shadowhand's identity to be pretty predictable, it's well executed and I always enjoy seeing Dent struggle with his own personas. There's just something so beautifully sad about it, and I just can't look away. Two-Face number 3 is available from all good comic shops now. If you're based in the UK and don't have a comic shop near you, then you might want to use my affiliate link with the UK's largest comic book retailer, Forbidden Planet. I have included a link in this video's description. Alternatively, if the idea of hoarding a collection of comic books fills you with dread, I'm getting perilously close to filling up our storage unit, you may want to try getting a digital copy of the issue from Amazon. I also have a global affiliate link which you could use to help my channel out. I've included my Amazon affiliate link in the info button in the top right corner, as well as the video's description. To those that have read the issue, what did you think? Are you pleased to see Baby Doll make her debut? What about Mariam? Were you shocked by the revelation that the Shadowhand was none other than Harvey Dent? Probably not. Do you think we'll ever find out who Di is? I'm serious, I've still been looking this up. I'm trying to figure out who Di is, and it took me longer than I would care to admit that her outfit is a reference to die as in dice, not die as in to cease living. But then again, I like the double meaning there, which oddly makes her appropriate as a Two-Face villain. Anyway, if anyone has the answer, oh my god, is she Lake Cantwell? Share your views in the comments below. And just before I wrap up, special thanks to all of my current channel members who help make these videos possible. Their names are listed on screen right now. I'll be back tomorrow with a video about the latest issue of Absolute Superman, where Lois Lane, agent of Lazarus, travels the globe trying to track down Superman. Then on Friday I have a video about a relatively obscure Batman Beyond villain that represents the path our Batman of the future could have taken. Going to be talking about Big Time. Then on Monday, well, you asked for more videos about Creature Commandos, so you're getting another one. I want to talk about Weasel and how James Gunn took a ridiculous, obscure Firestorm villain and made me give a crap about him. And I'll be back next week to talk about Absolute Batman 5, which picks up where issue 3 left off, with Batman accepting Black Mask's truce. Writer Scott Snyder has asked people that read the book early to avoid posting spoilers as much as possible, so I'm intrigued to see what might happen. Hope to see you then.